Hi, my name's Tom Wenner. I'm a senior associate with TBG Partners.
And hi, my name is Brennan Dedon. I'm also a senior associate with TBG Partners.
And we're two of the team leads and design leads for the Heritage Park expansion, and we're going to be walking you through the park today. So we're here at the highest point of the Heritage Park expansion. When we worked on this project 6 years ago and started it, one of the things that we really thought about from the context and history and character is how we bring that all together as the central area for the city's park. You think about the history of the rail influence in the city of Sachse and how that can really influence all of the great program and character that we worked with the city and the community to build into the park. So now that we've crossed the bridge, this is really the first point where you really get to discover the different experiences of the park. Turning to your right, you get to see the train rail park experience with our tower influencing from the city of Sachse to the train that ties around the main path. But even behind me, the amphitheater and looking out to the detention pond. These vistas that we thought about when we talked about, the different elevations of grade and having that craft the different experiences really helped inspire us of how you're experiencing the park for the first time.
So behind me, you'll see our giant Sachse water tower. So this was a really important component for us in the design of this park. As you enter the park, you see that's your first view. It's building this excitement for a kid as they enter the park along the train path. And when they're entering, it builds that excitement, not only in them for anticipation, but when they get into the playground and they start playing, it builds courage in them to be able to have to climb up, to build excitement and climb up into that tower and get really high, get that vantage point, feel that feeling of heights, and then have that thrill of going down a really high slide. Every one of us has a first childhood experience and memory of going down their first really tall slide, and that feeling that it gives you of like, I did that, I want to do it again and again and again.
Now that we've arrived at the playground, one of the things that Brennan and I want to point out is really the high and lower levels of play and the different experiences you get with both. The high level being much more inclined with the rail theme that we've established, much more with the train, the tower, but also those high activity, varied in age experiences that kids of all ages can enjoy. When we turn more to the natural areas, you burn down and go down the grade. Having those berm slide access to it, having the backdrop of the native area really inspired us to create more of a natural play that's much more for a younger age and allows, much more of a secure and safe area for them to experience the park as well.
What makes a great playground are a couple of really key features. When we design, we think about spinning, we think about swinging, we think about climbing and sliding, right? All those things come to mind when you think about a playground. But when we look at our playground here, we've got multiple components and opportunities for kids to spin by themselves as well as with others. So cooperative play, where you can engage and meet and connect with others that you've never met before. So it gives kids the courage and the opportunity to engage socially, as well as our parents, right? When kids start talking, parents start talking. So it's a really great community development opportunity. Behind me, you'll see the dome. And so when you look at that dome, you might just see some ropes and some dangly things, some pretty shiny stuff, but it actually serves a couple of really exciting opportunities for play value and for development with our kids. So the ropes and the climbing builds dexterity, builds strength, that allows kids to get their balance and learn how to maneuver their bodies around a space. So it gets them confident in their abilities, and that thing's going to be covered in kids, so it also offers opportunities for them to connect and play with others. But underneath, you'll see all of the shiny little tactile things. Those are what we would call sensory play opportunities. Even someone of all abilities, someone in a wheelchair, can roll up and can connect and play with others in a way to stimulate their senses. So those with sensory needs can go in there and see the shiny refractions. They can touch and feel and engage with others in that space underneath. Every great park has a pavilion. We wanted to make sure that when we designed this park, we could also offer a great gathering space with permanent shade, some tables and areas for people to gather and have parties and picnics. Ours is really neat. It's really tying into that station theme. So along with the train tracks and the train and all the great history that we have here in Sachse and the station, right? LRK was our architect, and they did a really great job designing this pavilion to really play on that theme of a train station.
We're here at the end of the train tracks at the splash pad. One of the things that the design team wanted to ensure for this area of the park is that we had that moment of water and play tying in the final thematic character. This is where the train tracks split as a junction, and each of these areas allows for water to shoot out, allowing for kids to play in those splash pad areas of the park.
Obviously, water is a really important resource here in Texas in the summers. So instead of that water just running off and not being better utilized, we created a system here where all the water that's coming out of this splash pad is actually cycled into our two amenity ponds. So we have some detention ponds on the south and north side of this park. We're going to be able to reutilize this water that comes out of the splash pad to maintain a really nice water level, to make it a lot more of a sustainable approach.
So now that we're at the lower play area, one of the unique experiences we wanted to share is that the hill that ties between the upper and lower play. This allowed us to have slides that sit on that hill that allow kids to slide down this area, and we made sure to have a central climbing area so that they could climb back up. This allows kids to play both high and low and connect between the two play experiences.
The design of the lower playground was really focused around providing all of the same opportunities that the upper did, talking about thrill and swinging and spinning and climbing, all those things, but focused around a younger age group. And right here next to me is designed to be a gathering space, a hub of activity for parents to kind of relax, yet still have a really great view of all that's going on down here. When we talk about boundaries and the ability to feel safe and have good eyes on your kids, we created a space here that can allow parents to be comfortable while also interacting with their kids that are playing right next to them. So you'll see this play component right here. This is a really cool piece that focuses on interactive play. So I know in myself as a parent, I've bought lots of leaves and sticks from my kids as they've grown up. And so this is a great little shop feature here that kids can pretend play, and while a parent can still be comfortable with their feet in the grass and let the smaller tots crawl around and not be in the wood chips. So here we are at the swings, a classic feature of any great park. These swings in particular provide a great example of how, when we design with accessibility in mind, it makes the experience better for everyone. So this basket swing offers the opportunity for children or a parent with any ability to still experience that same swinging sensation, but it also provides an opportunity for multiple kids to swing together and have a cooperative experience, or a parent and a child. We wanted to make sure as much as possible to use native plants. Behind me, you'll see some grasses. It's often a misconception that tall grasses are unkept and overgrown, unintentional. But in this case, what you'll see behind me is a native grass that uses a lot less water. It takes that strain of demand off of the park and allows for other areas to really thrive. And what you'll end up with in the end with this space is a tall, beautiful sea of wavy, feathery grasses blowing in the wind and only heighten the experience as you come along our trails and sidewalks. This is our amphitheater. So this is a more intimate space for smaller organized gatherings. I could see band performances, evenings in the park. This is a great spot for summer camps to come and gather and do outdoor classroom learning. I could see yoga happening out here on these terraced lawns in the morning as the sun is rising. Just a great example of a space with a great, beautiful backdrop with this detention pond behind us right here in Sachse.
So we're now here at the event lawn for Heritage Park, which is a multi-use flexible area for both residents and the community to gather together. This is also where we have the ceremonial entry from the existing Heritage Park, from our ball fields and existing playground infrastructure, to bring people in from that area down to the new expansion.
So behind us, you'll see the bridge and boardwalk area. This is actually the connection back into the station retail area and how it ties back to our whole Heritage Park area. This is a great place to sit and relax, detach from the more active area. It's a great place to catch the sunrise. Right here over this detention pond, and it's what's really cool is that it's overlooking this stand of existing trees. It was really important to us to preserve these trees and set the stage. It really acts as a backdrop for the space. We didn't just preserve them though. We hired an arborist to come in and help us clean up and selectively harvest out a certain number of trees to really allow for what we have here to not just exist, but to thrive and become even more grand than what we see today.